Hey, it's Wixman Ray here again. Hey, welcome to another edition of our weather updates that we do. Um, I am Wixman Ray or Weatherman Ray. Today is Monday, April 13th, 2026. Um, so we got some pretty crazy storms out there. We got these storms that popped up just to the south of the Kansas City metro area. They've got some hook echoes. Those are radar signatures that are indicating, they could potentially produce tornadoes or at least show rotation. These two farther north storms, which will show on the radar, are actually had some tornado warnings on them today or this evening. And it's about 8:15 out here on the central part of the country and 6:15 on the west coast, 9:15 out east. So yeah, so we got that little cluster of storms real discreet. Just there's like basically three storms, and these are real impressive storms. They popped up really fast. It was clear out there maybe hour ago or 2 hours ago when I was outside. So, and then we got some pretty intense storms up across northern Iowa, parts of southern Minnesota into Wisconsin. There's a couple tornado warnings and some severe thunderstorm warnings with those. Also got a couple of thunderstorms across Michigan and Ohio, northern Ohio, with a couple severe weather warnings on those severe thunderstorm warnings to be specific. So yeah, so all this activity here is associated with little waves in the atmosphere coming up from the southwest, and we got a lot of warm, humid air, moist air coming, off the Gulf, and so we got some thunderstorms down here in Texas. This one, I believe, had a severe thunderstorm warning on it too. So, but yeah, so looking out west, we got this upper level. It looks like upper level low spinning over maybe northern Arizona, southern Utah area. Um, this is showers and thunderstorms up through this area, part of Utah and Nevada, even a little bit clipping parts of California there, but most of it's east of there. And then a little bit of activity down across New Mexico and Arizona and Colorado. And then we got another low pressure up here in looks like Idaho, Montana border area with some looks like maybe some convective activity, some showers, and maybe some thunder, and then probably some higher elevation snows on the back end. And then we got this new system coming on the Pacific Northwest, and that'll start bringing in rain as we head into tomorrow out there. Yeah, so pretty active pattern here overall. We have this system that's kind of exiting now, a low pressure that's moving just off the east coast with a frontal system draping down to the south. Looks like still some clouds from it down over the Carolinas. I don't really think there's much in the way of precip left. A little bit of clouds down through here, but really we'll see if there's anything associated with that. And then a little bit of cloud cover. It looks like mostly high cloud over Florida down there. All right, so that's our satellite view. So yeah, this is what I showed you. I had a separate video here, and we still got some tornado warnings. They did put out a tornado warning on the southern storm down here. That looks like it's down. Oh, what towns are those? This is not the best map to read this on, but down there is south of the Kansas City area, quite a bit farther south. So it's out there in the smaller towns. So hopefully they're taking cover with those. It looks like, and then we've got these are all supercells, and then we got these two strong systems here with tornado warnings on them, and they're just south of Olathe. Well, this one's south of Olathe, and this one's kind of south of Lawrence, Kansas. Out over this one's just to the north of Ottawa, Kansas. So, and those are heading towards the metro area, or at least the southern metro area of Kansas City. So, watch out, guys. Any of those people that are out there. But other than that, that's all that's out in this part of the world. Those couple of storms. Otherwise, warm, humid day out here. We're in the 70s and 80s through the middle part of the country. As we scroll north, looks like there was a couple storms that have died off that were out there in Nebraska, real isolated stuff. Um, and then we've got then this is where it gets more intense. We've got quite a few storms. Looks like one tornado warning there in northern Iowa. Then a bunch of severe thunderstorms stretching from northern Iowa, southern Minnesota, into parts of Wisconsin there along this frontal boundary. This is a cold front that's kind of stretching across here. So we got some pretty good dynamics helping to support this. Farther north, just some colder rain. Looks like there's 40 and heavy rain up there. Where's that at? Escanaba, Delta County, Michigan, up in the UP of Michigan. Yeah. And then farther over here in Michigan and I guess Cleveland had some severe thunderstorm warnings, but they dropped them. But some pretty intense storms with they're getting some gusts up near 50 there. What that's at Port Clinton and Erie, Ohio area. So yeah, and one severe thunderstorm up there in Michigan. So yeah, so a few misbehaving storms. Looks like some kind of popcorn looking thunderstorms across northern Ohio and Pennsylvania there. So watch out for those. Um, I mean, any of these could become severe. So, I mean, if this stuff, holds together, there's still potential, maybe even into Pennsylvania later this evening. Just keep an eye out on the skies there and pay attention to your preferred weather providers out there, or listen to the Weather Service or your weather radios if you have one. Otherwise, it looks like a couple storms or showers, anyways, across New York and up into the Northeast, but nothing too significant. Here's what's left of that rain that's moving off to the East Coast there across Maine, leaving in its wake some 40s, warmer to the south in the 60s. Yeah, there's a few showers. We saw these clouds out here in parts of Virginia, Southwest Virginia, into parts of Tennessee, but very light stuff, really not much to speak of. Elsewhere across the south, pretty quiet. Here's those isolated storms over parts of Texas. Looks like that's kind of northwest of Abilene. We still got a severe thunderstorm warning on that. Looks like maybe some showers down here, maybe some lightning with that. Really hard to tell. And then back across the west, we're seeing showers. There's probably some thunderstorms embedded in some of this activity across the southwest. Yeah, even into parts of California here, we're getting a few spotty showers. And then it's more concentrated around the low here across southern Utah, northern Arizona. Yeah. So even a few showers lingering across Nevada, although not too strong. And then we got just kind of spotty showers, hit and miss out here across the northern Rockies and back into the northwest part of the U.S. This is where that low pressure is, so there's a little more enhanced rain over here on eastern parts of Idaho. And it looks like a little bit of rain activity, shower activity out here in parts of North Dakota and Montana also. So overall, pretty active when it comes to showers and thunderstorms across the country today. So, and that's kind of what the store I've been selling you, anyways, for the last couple days. So here we'll go into the forecast here. We'll just go through Friday again. Try to end this pretty quick here. This is what the model depiction is of all the activities. So they don't really show individual thunderstorms. They just kind of do a broad brush of where they think there's going to be some precipitation. So, and we saw that, in this general area, showers and thunderstorms through parts of the Great Lakes and the, into Ohio, Indiana, and Iowa and Illinois. And then this is that more spotty stuff across Missouri and Kansas. And this goes through about midnight tonight. So, and this stuff down here. So if this thing is correct or even close, which sometimes it is, sometimes it's not when it comes to thunderstorm activity, they're kind of maybe thinking there might be a little more activity that develops here later tonight, but we'll see. And then we got this showery activity Maybe some isolated thunderstorms in this activity near the Four Corners and some high elevation snow, and then this stuff up north. So kind of hit and miss around there. That's the main features. This is the main, these are, you know, this is the main feature out west, and then a little bit up here. Sorry about that. And then that one across the central part of the country. So as we go into tomorrow, this whole cluster will move up towards, through Michigan and then into New York, a little bit into Pennsylvania. There may be a little bit of activity down here into Kentucky, West Virginia, and parts of the Ohio Valley and that general area. Some down in Texas and Oklahoma, and then we still got some lingering stuff out here in Colorado near the Four Corners area, maybe just slightly north. And then you see that stuff coming in the Pacific Northwest. And then this is what this is up here is that's the remnants of this stuff out here. So we got a little bit of rain or shower activity across the north here, North Dakota, Minnesota, northern Minnesota anyways. So yeah. But as we go into the evening, yeah, this is going to be another redevelopment. Looks like tomorrow more widespread thunderstorms from Texas, Oklahoma through Missouri and Kansas, and then up into Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota. So this area will be under the threat of some severe thunderstorms and regular thunderstorms too. Pretty much all this area you can highlight most of this area, at least for thunderstorms. The severe might look slightly different. And then it looks like some showers up here across the northeast. That's from that first little wave that's over here tonight. That's back here. Yeah, that moves over into the northeast tomorrow evening. And then we got the stuff across the northwest. And moving into northern Idaho, parts of Montana. And as we go into Wednesday, so we'll focus on the west for a minute. So this stuff will start shifting a little bit south into clipping northern Nevada, northern California, moving then more into Idaho, Montana, and even Wyoming. So this looks like another cool system. So we're going to see some lower elevation snows. The snow elevations will be dropping probably. I can't guess. I don't know. So, but they're definitely dropping with this. So if you live out in the west, out here in this part of the country, you may see some snow. Especially, it's more favorable this time of year in the overnight and early morning hours. Usually during the daytime, it can have snow, but it's not going to accumulate. Sometimes it accumulates at night if the temperatures are cold enough. But yeah. So yeah, and then Wednesday, yeah, like I said, we got those ongoing thunderstorms all across here. And then as you go into Thursday, so this is that low pressure, that was out here that came out of the Rockies. And on Thursday, it's moving off into Canada. You still got some trolling thunderstorms back through here and even down across, this area as we go through the day. And so, yeah, so you'll kind of see a front extending from the northeast down through Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Tennessee, parts of Missouri and Arkansas, and even southern, so the Ohio Valley general area there. And then some back into Texas still. And then there's the remnants of that system on Thursday. It looks like the snow levels definitely changed because you're seeing predominantly snow on Thursday back there. So yeah, across northern Utah, northern Nevada, and then parts of Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. And that eventually goes to Colorado as we go into Friday. So, and then it looks like on Friday so Thursday will be kind of a lull in the activity, maybe not quite as active. I don't think they had anything severe last I looked, but don't quote me, I'll look. And then on Friday, as this low pressure moves out of the Rockies, it looks like I haven't been mentioning this, but some pretty stout winds, some strong winds with this low pressure really deepens over the plains. So you get some strong winds, especially on the backside. So you could have some very strong winds, across parts of Colorado, Wyoming, and parts of the northern plains, and even extending down towards Kansas and even Oklahoma there, maybe West Texas. And then you get another outbreak of thunderstorms. So, from Looks like, I don't know if they'll be up into Minnesota. We'll see what their threat area is, but Iowa, Nebraska. So this whole area, all the way down through Texas. So yeah, the whole gamut there. All of the planes will be under the threat on Friday, and that looks like a good chance there. That looks like one of the stronger ones. So Tuesday, like tonight, no, not tonight. Tuesday looks like a fair threat. Wednesday and Friday, I think, are going to be the biggest days, but that's what I think. So just based on my experience. But yeah, Friday could be the most significant of the week, just based on it's a very strong. Oh, and I haven't even mentioned the snow. I mean, look, it's showing snow on the backside all the way down into eastern Colorado, Nebraska, at least western Nebraska, and up into the Dakotas. And that comes out of the Rockies. So, and then this goes over into northern Nebraska, parts of so yeah, for middle, what, this is like on the 18th of April, 17th or yeah, the 18th. So could be a good snowstorm out through parts of the northern plains here and up into Minnesota and Wisconsin again. So I don't think they're done with the snow, man. Yeah, so that's something to watch there. So, and that goes through Saturday, Friday and Saturday. Mostly Friday. Yeah, it looks like Friday night into Saturday. So we kind of went beyond Friday, but yeah, that's something to just keep an eye on. The models show some differences on where the snow is going to be. In fact, let's see what the European, yeah, the European has a little farther north, but yeah, they do show some snow on the backside, not quite as robust as the American GFS model. But like I said, just keep your eyes out and ears out for possible snowstorm. It definitely will be windy and getting colder up there. So just keep be weather aware as you go through late in the week towards the weekend. So anyways, that's it for me. That's all I'm gonna say. I lied. Here's your convective outlook. So this is for tonight. So yeah, they have that slight risk over this area where those couple storms were. And then they got that enhanced risk up over Minnesota, northern Iowa, right where we saw all that cluster of severe thunderstorms, and then kind of surrounded by where we saw all the other stuff. So that'll be for the rest of tonight. It'll probably start the weekend as we get past midnight, but you know, as these thunderstorms go, as long as there's, moist, warm, moist air and instability and the right conditions, these things could go overnight too. So, yeah, so don't let your guard down because this does go through about 7 o'clock in the morning, Central Time, 6 to 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that's the tornado threat, the wind threat. It's pretty high. So, and then there's your hail threat. So, yeah, there you go. And then for tomorrow, there's our convective outlook. It looks like it's the same general area again, just shifting a little farther south from up here in Minnesota and Wisconsin. It's shifting south over Iowa, northern Illinois, and southern Wisconsin, and parts of Lake Michigan, but the whole Michigan down through the plains here is going to be under the gun with at least a slight risk of severe thunderstorms. And there's your tornado risk. Looks like highest is in Oklahoma and up there to the north again in Iowa, northern Illinois. So watch out around Chicago, Des Moines. Yeah, any of these towns, be under the gun, man. Even Milwaukee. So keep an eye out for it. There's your wind threat and your hail threat. So an enhanced hail threat up there too. As we go into Friday, right? No, wait. This is Tuesday. This is Thursday. Yeah. So Thursday, I lied to you. It looked a little less active, but there still is a chance of a slight risk of severe for the same part of the country, really, from North Texas. Well, even the marginal risk extends across parts of Texas, Oklahoma. Yeah, you get the picture, and then all the way towards the East Coast here in New York and Pennsylvania, even parts of New Jersey. So yeah, keep an eye out even on Thursday. Um, Friday though was the day that I'm. Yeah, was that? Is that right? What day? So this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, I totally lied. So this is today. So that's Tuesday. Man, I am off. This is what happens when I do it at night. So this was Tuesday's threat. So tomorrow is Tuesday. So yeah. So tomorrow's threat, like I said, is going to shift a little bit. Wednesday. Okay, Ray, get this shit right. Sorry about my language. I'm kind of upset with myself because I don't want to mislead you. This is Wednesday, and that's a day I thought would be a pretty good risk. But now it looks like Tuesday's shaping up to be a pretty good risk. And I did mention that yesterday for this area. So that's Wednesday. So let's go. So day 4 is our Thursday. And that's the day I wasn't real sure about. There'll probably be thunderstorms, but I don't know. Maybe there'll be a marginal that comes out tomorrow, but we'll see what they show. And there's the Friday one, yeah. So you're looking at the plains. So right, Kansas City, Des Moines, down into Wichita, Kansas, and even Oklahoma City. So this whole area is going to be under the gun on Friday, and I think that might be a pretty good event if everything pans out. As you get past that, they're not confident enough on anything, but yeah. So yeah, looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday are going to be the big days after tonight to pay attention to, but always pay attention. You just never know. All it takes is one storm and it can take out a town or something or kill people. So never let your guard down. Don't even listen to this weatherman. I could be wrong sometimes. But yeah, this is just what I think is going to happen from what I see. But yeah, so look at other sources and see what they say too. Anyways, hey, I'm going to end this. I'm getting a little long-winded here. We appreciate you all, and hopefully you will like and subscribe. Wixman Ray out.